I'm not really sure what to say anymore. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Manya and I've lost about 37 pounds on the WW Purple plan. I thought I'd come on today and talk about what I'm doing here and what I'm struggling with. If you've been around for a while, you know that I started my WW journey in May of 2020, and I started this YouTube channel in December of 2020. And I started it because, why? I was bored. I was a little bored. It's December of 2020. I think we all may have been a little bored. I had time to kill. And I was watching a lot of WW YouTube, and I was noticing that my voice was not represented. I have absolutely no judgment for people who spend their WW journey eating low point processed foods. That's fine, but that was not the secret to my success. What worked and continues to work for me is eating a whole foods diet. Now, I eat a whole food plant-based diet that's low in oil, low in fat. I don't think that has to be the answer, but I do want my lifelong journey to be one of health. And so I avoid processed foods as much as possible. And I eat, I've been a vegetarian for well over 20 years, but I only eat dairy when I don't really have much of a choice out of restaurants, that kind of thing. So I thought that my voice could contribute something new to the conversation and potentially be helpful. And I think it worked. I mean, I don't have millions of viewers, but I certainly have over 1,000 of you who have said that you like my voice, and I really appreciate that. More than you know, honestly. And then in June of 2021, at the end of June, my relationship of 20 years ended. And I managed to continue filming videos, uploading videos for months, like 4 months, every single week. Even in the depths of despair, I found continuing to focus on WW and really connect with all of you, I found it to be very helpful and supportive, and that was wonderful. And I've thanked all of you before for that support, and I'll thank you again today. And then in late October, so today is the 26th of October, it started getting really hard. The last video that I released was 2 weeks ago, and I shared that I had met someone. I don't know what it's going to be or what it is, but the breakup, the dealing with the separation, dealing with all the paperwork around the divorce, and then meeting someone new and the uncertainty of that, and the feelings that has awakened in me that I thought were done, I think all came together in a really terrible way 2 weeks ago when I was supposed to fly to a family wedding. I was totally fine, driving to the airport, shuttling to the airport, checking in, checking my bag. I was in the waiting area. I was fine. I even flirted with a cute man in the waiting area. Everything was fine. I walked down the concourse to the plane, and I got to the door of the plane, and I couldn't get on. And I had this overwhelming feeling in my body that I should not get on the plane. And I had this thought, if I get on this plane, I'm going to have a panic attack. And so I stepped to the side and the flight attendant said, we have a few minutes, take your time. And I thought, well, I live in a place where I'm not masking much at all. And so maybe it was that I was feeling it's allergy time of year. I have some breathing issues, the mask on top of that. Maybe I was just struggling for breath. So I took my mask down. I tried to do some breathing. I felt a little better. I walked up to the door of the plane and I couldn't get on. And I don't know if you all remember this or if you're old enough to remember this, but there was at least one person. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I certainly heard this story, that there was at least one person on September 11th, 2001, who did not get on the plane, one of the planes, because they had this sense that they shouldn't, and it saved their life. And as you can imagine, as soon as that thought went through my head, I couldn't get on that plane. I was done. And I walked away. I walked away from going to a family wedding and representing my parents who don't feel comfortable traveling right now. I walked away from seeing family. I walked away from seeing 2 different groups of friends that live in the area who I haven't seen in years and years. I had to unravel a lot. Hotel reservations, cat sitter, all of this stuff. Like it would have been far easier to get on the plane and to go. And back here, as I'm telling people that this happened, I'm getting basically one very strong piece of feedback, which is, you did the right thing. Who knows what you prevented by not going? The flights were fine. I was worried about them, of course, in case I had a premonition. They were fine. What if I prevented something else? And so I thought, okay, this is fill in the blank of whatever you believe, telling me that I shouldn't have gone. And then, last week, I went through a car wash. The kind where you drive in, you stop, and the whole thing rotates around you. I went in there and I had a panic attack. And I remembered that a couple of months ago, I had to get a CAT scan, not the full body one. And those of you in the medical field, I can never remember the difference. I think the full body one where you're in the tube is the MRI. I didn't have that. I just had the sort of chest and head one. And I had a panic attack, or I started to have a panic attack in that. So clearly something is going on, and I don't know if it's just the confluence of so much stress. At the same time, I don't know if this potential new person that I've met is just adding that one thing. But I haven't really felt like recording videos, and I always said that if it became less fun, I would just stop doing it. But now that it's happened and it's become less fun, there's all of you, and I feel this responsibility because so many of you are telling me that I'm helpful to you. Sorry about the air conditioning. Yes, I live in North Texas and it's the end of October. The air conditioning still goes on. And I wanted to read you a comment that someone named Linda Larson left for me, and I've been thinking about this comment ever since she left it, because I posted and said no video this week. This was last week. I don't know what to say anymore. And I can do another what I eat in a day, but the problem is that I'm eating the same thing. You can go back and you can watch all my what I eat in a day, and not much has changed. And so my channel is in theory about WW, and I'm committed to WW, especially whatever new is coming our way. I'll help everyone through that as best I can. But like, then what? Because what I know and what you know, and we all know this intellectually, whether we follow it or not, you pick a thing that works for you and you just stick with it for the rest of your life. And you stick with it no matter what's happening to you. So I don't know how many more ways to say that. And so what I'm doing today is just cracking things open, my life open a little bit to you, to see what you think. because I don't know, I'm not one of those YouTubers who's trying to make a living doing this. I have a full-time job. I'm good. I don't need YouTube. So it's more about community for me and being helpful. So Linda Larson, she said, this is in response to me saying, I don't know what else to say. If you turn this around, you are actually a teacher. You have a voice people want to listen to. You speak like you're talking to me only. That's a real gift. Your life seemed to have changed overnight. 1 minute you were remodeling the kitchen, and next you were ending a relationship and leaving. Don't show me another bowl of oatmeal or cold potato. Show me how to survive all those feelings you have to be going through and still take care of myself. Stop protecting and start giving. You can do this. Thank you, Linda. That's one of the best compliments I've ever received. I know that my job is very much giving presentations and doing stuff like this, so I feel very comfortable in front of a camera. And I feel very comfortable talking to this black box in front of me because I can picture all of you. I can picture Linda on the other end watching this, so I'm pleased that that is coming through. So taking Linda's advice and her request, I'm not doing super well right now. I'm actively seeking a therapist. I've been talking, my employer gives me this emergency access to therapy, so I've called, I've talked it through. I think in hindsight, I should have gotten on the plane, but I didn't have the tools. I should not have listened to this gut. My gut is not my friend right now about certain things. Clearly, when I'm in a situation where I feel physically trapped, that's when I'm panicking. A plane, a car wash, a CAT scan, I can see this pattern. And so, I think there are two paths to take at these moments. I think the easy path would be to start avoiding all of the things that cause me to have this feeling and retreat over time farther and farther into myself and into my house. I become that person who can't fly, who has to drive everywhere. I become that person who deals with ongoing panic attacks, which can prevent love and friendship and healthy living. I'm not gonna make that choice. No way am I gonna be that person. I'm not gonna live the rest of my life like that. So the other choice is for me, because I don't wanna go on medication. I try to limit, I'm already on medication for my asthma, and I don't like it. So my goal is always to be on as little medication as possible. So I need to lean into what's happening. I have a long history of catastrophizing things. To give you an, hi Oscar. To give you an example of what this means, I can get on an elevator and I imagine the elevator plunging and me dying. I can get on a plane, I imagine it dropping out of the sky. I can be driving across a bridge and I could imagine the car turning and falling off the bridge. I can eat and worry that I'm gonna choke. I catastrophize things. I have done this, I don't wanna say my entire life, but I have done this for as long as I can remember, and I have been able to manage it without medication. I manage it through exercise, which is why I'm constantly pushing you guys to exercise. I think it's so good for mental health. I control it by practicing yoga. I have meditated in the past successfully, although I hate meditating. I have managed it. Clearly, I'm not managing it right now, and it has ramped up into something new. So here's what I'm committed to Finding a local therapist that I can meet with in person. I've tried the online. I don't really like it. I'm a verbal person, clearly. So I want to sit down with someone in person. Oscar, I don't know if y'all can hear him. He's talking to me. 2, so therapy, 1, 2, getting back to meditation. I know that has helped me in the past. Meditation gives me rage. I don't know if you all have ever tried it. I find it so hard. It's hard for everyone. But I've already started doing that. And then I need to lean into the things that are scaring me. So the thing that I can do most easily between a CAT scan, a plane ride, and a car wash is I can do a car wash. So right now I have the cleanest car in North Texas because I have gone through the car wash 3 times since that panic attack. And every time it has been hard, and every time I've gotten through it, and every time I have been happy that I did it. Every time I've gotten up there and waiting in line, of course, because everyone likes to have a clean car, waiting in line, watching those cars go through it, starting to panic, calming myself down, forcing myself to go into it and sit there and breathe through it and distract myself. Every time I've been happy that I did, even though my mind was like, well, you can back up, you can drive through, you can pay your $8 and still drive through and not get the car wash. No. And when I talked to my dad, because I'm supposed to go see my folks for Thanksgiving, and I said, look, getting on that plane is going to be really hard for me. And he said, well, we will understand if you don't come. And I said, that's not what I need from you. You need to tell me to get on the plane and come. Because this is not going to be the way that it goes. Whatever happens with this guy, and whether it becomes something or doesn't become something, no matter how hard it is with my ex and whether I agree with actions he's taking or things he's saying to me, I am stronger than all of this. This is what has fueled me through weight loss. This is what has brought me success in my life. And I know that all of us have this inner strength. We don't need this external stuff. We just need the tools to pull ourselves up and to be strong, because we are all stronger than our minds and we are stronger than our bodies. And for many of us, our bodies are reacting to stress, whatever that stress is in your life. So that's where I am right now. I don't really know what to do with this channel. I'm happy to keep sharing. I have no problem sharing. People come here for WW content, and I don't want to move away from that if that's what people want. So let me know in the comments below. Your feedback is really helpful to me, and it's really important, because I'll be honest, I could walk away from this very easily. I miss you all, but like I said, it's not my job. I don't need it. I just want it. So let me know what you think. I'll stop saying so. I'm realizing I'm saying that a lot. As always, it's good to see you all. Thank you for being here, and let me know. And I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Bye.